Good morning, students. Today we go for some advanced knowledge in the subject of management process for the BCom 5th semester students. As a part of the subject of management process, we will go for the learning of the case study method and approaches. First of all, I would like to make you why this is important. The concepts why this is important to make you aware of this thing, particularly to the students of management and management process. This method is widely approached by the managerial people. We know that managers are the key persons in their respective departments as well as functionary areas. Maybe at the top level people, maybe at the middle level people. So, there is a must and ought situation on the part of the managers to always linger in the midst of the problems and to get expected the solutions to those problems by way of making effective decisions from time to time. Their decisions are so much risky, and most of the times they are irreversible decisions also. When once a decision is taken and implemented, if it is successful, okay, with reference to the achievement of the organizational goals and objectives. Otherwise, it is a costly affair on the part of the organization. Not only the resources, but also at the stake of the image of the organization also. Henceforth, particularly in business organizations and business management, the managers are supposed to behave very rationally as well as effectively at all times, such that the loss or the risk is minimized and a smooth flow towards the organizational goal or objective achievement is possible. So in this context, we will go for the learning of the case study method or the case study approach for problem solving and decision making. In future, if you are supposed to go for the higher level of managerial studies like MBA or similar courses to become a professional manager, you need to associate yourself always with this case study approach or case study methods. Here, the main methodology, how the managers will have to process the case study approach, we will look into this particular video. We all know that every organization is having two environments. Every organization is having two environments. One is the internal environment and the second one is external environment. The second one is external environment. When there is an internal environment and external environment putting together, the organization is supposed to have a particular environment which is called as business environment, in which it is expected to prosecute the things and proceed and conduct the things and make the necessary changes from time to time. Here the challenging factor here it is the internal environment is in the hands of the organization, whereas the external environment is beyond the control of the organization. So we know who are the participants or the players in the internal environment. Who are the participants and players in the internal environment? Maybe management, maybe the employees, as well as the internal stakeholders beyond the management and employees. They frame together as a composite environment in the creation of the internal environmental conditions of the organization. Now towards the external environment, we have so many stakeholders in the external environment, which is beyond the control of the organization. But it is must and ought to play within the external environment because they are doing business. So who are they? The first and foremost is government. Next one is the customers. Next one is the competitors. Next one is society. And so on, so forth. They are all coming under the external environment. After knowing what is internal environment and external environment composition, the manager is supposed to have a critical view of both the internal environment and the external environment. Further, a manager has to perform two types of analysis to have a better insight of the business environment. Business environment. So, what are the two analyses that is mostly to be performed by or expected to be performed by the managers for effective problem solving through effective decision making? Or the number one, we call it as puzzle analysis. And going hand in hand with the puzzle analysis, the manager has to perform the SWOT analysis. So it is must for any manager at any level to go for better problem solving and effective decision making. These two are must. The first one is the puzzle analysis and the second one is the SWOT analysis. So what is the puzzle analysis? It is an acronym. P for political, E for economical, S for social, T for technological, L for legal, and another E for ecological. So what are these political, economical, social, technological, legal and ecological factors? So these are all the factors of the political economy, the factors of the economical environment, the factors of the social environment, the factors of the technological environment, the factors of the legal environment, and the factors of ecological environment or the natural environment. This is must on the part of every manager prior to go for the decision making towards solving a particular problem in the business environment. So when once this analysis is done, then there is a need for doing the other analysis, that is SWOT analysis. We know that what is SWOT in the earlier class. We have covered S for strengths, O for opportunities, W for weaknesses, and T for threats. So this is also an acronym, stands for the SWOT analysis. S for strengths, W for weaknesses, O for opportunities, and T for threats. The strengths and opportunities are interconnected. The weaknesses and threats are interconnected. But how to analyze the strengths, or how to know the strengths, or how to view the strengths of the organization in the given environment? The strengths and weaknesses both are connected to the internal environment. The weaknesses and threats both are connected to the opportunities, and the threats both are connected to the external environment. Right? So once you go for this, there may be a possibility of a manager to go for effective problem solving through a better decision making every time. So during the course of this, making these things, every problem or every situation faced by a manager will be denoted as a case. Means every situation itself is a case. There will be no similar situation most probably. Why? Because there is a huge change at every momentum in the internal environment as well as the external environment of the business organization while managing the organization. So henceforth, when the internal environment is also dynamic as well as external environment is also dynamic, there is a must and ought situation, and prior care and cautious approach is essential on the part of every manager while going for the problems arise during the course of the conduct of the business activities and go for effective decision making. So in this particular context, what is expected by a manager? That is what we look into this particular topic. So how a case study is a useful tool or a technique for a manager, that is to be discussed in this context. Then what is a case? So we have written here what is a case. Then what is a case? Case may be a real situation with the given premises to every case. It may be a actual situation, because managers most of the times to deal with the actual situations. But managers are supposed to deal with the animated situations also particular times in managing their functions. So then what is a case? Case may be a real situation or an animated situation. In the case of the real situation, actually knows what is what. But in the case of the animated situation, why this is necessary? The animated situation is necessary because the functions of a manager includes and initiates with the planning function. So then what is a plan? Plan is a future course of action. So based upon the plan, the managers are also supposed to go for the other function, budgeting also. Both these things are not associated with present. they are associated with the future course of action, future course of time. So both planning and budgeting is supposed to be done at the start of doing the things, because the budgeting deals with the resources and the planning deals with the creativity as well as the professionality in dealing with the situation. So both planning and budgeting are supposed to be based upon a better forecasting on the part of a manager while going for the environmental analysis, maybe internal environmental analysis as well as the external environmental analysis. So in such a case, both the real situation as well as animation situations could be denoted as a case for the manager, and the case is nothing but a problem or a given situation. Maybe it is real, maybe it is animated. So when there is a problem, when there is a situation which is therefore requirement of a suggested decision making to solve that problem, there is a must and ought situation on the part of the every manager to look into the case study approach. We are dealing with the subject management process. Process in the sense how the managers will function. We have the functions: planning, organizing, staffing, directing. But while executing the functions of a manager also, what necessary actions and activities to be performed by a manager, under that case study is an approach. So how to do the case study? So we have defined what is a case. It is a real situation or an animated situation. Particularly the management students are supposed to be well versed with the approach of case study. So while doing the case study, the students generally will have, or the learners of management theory or the practical or the situations will have two forms of cases. One is an open-ended case and the second one is a closed-end case. Then what is an open-ended case? A situation is clearly defined or described for the people, for the learners or the pursuers of management courses, because they are supposed to be the future managers. Maybe a real situation or an animated situation, but where there is no closedness of the case is wide open, means it is depending upon the efficacy of the knowledge, efficiency levels, the skill sets of the levels, and the way in which it is to be solved. It is open to a person to act on his potentialities with no questions at the end of the case. That type of case is called as open-end case. Then what is a closed-end case? The closed-end case is a case where the premises are predefined and the problems are also predefined, and the person's analysis is restricted to that particular points on which there is a need of decision making, that is well predefined or pre-mentioned. Such type of cases come under the closed-end case. So whether the case is a open-end case or a closed-end case, how a person pursuing the professional course or learning or pursuing a management course should act upon. So when we go for the case analysis, there is a methodology for case analysis. So then what is the methodology for case analysis? That we will go for learning now. That we will go for learning now. So how to do a case study? How to do a case study or case analysis? How to analyze a case? So what are the various steps to be done by a manager while going for analyzing the case and for submitting the possible decisions for solving the case or the situation or the problem? So then what are the steps in the case analysis? The first and foremost step of the case study is called as identifying the facts of the case. Identifying the facts of the case. And the second step is, after identifying the facts of the case, identification of the problem, which is called as problem identification. That is the second step of the case study. After the problem identification, the third step is called as assessing alternatives. Assessing alternatives for solution of the given case. How many alternatives are available for soluting this particular situation? And after that, picking up a most effective and suitable alternative, that is of choosing the best alternative. Choosing the best alternative for soluting the case. When once the best alternative is chosen, the next one is called as application of the alternative. Application of the alternative chosen, which is proved to be or expected to be the best alternative out of the available alternatives. So when once the alternative is applied or going to be applied, then we have to know that what will be the outcomes or what may be the outcomes after applying the alternative. So there is no perfect way of solving a case study or analyzing a case. There is no right or no wrong situation. It depends upon, again, on the content of the case or the environment in which the case is being projected or being felt or perceived, and what are the abilities or the strengths on the part of a manager, both theoretically as well as practical experience and exposure of a manager. Henceforth, there is no particular right answer or a wrong answer for any case study. There may be n number of alternatives. One may pick number 1, one may pick number 10, one may pick 100. So anyway, the other objective, what is that? Solving the case and getting proper and effective decision making. So during the course of the facts of the case, what to be done? So when once the case is provided, the manager or the management learner should have to go thoroughly towards the total understanding of the case and have to enlist all those key areas of the case which are described within the case by noting down in a point wise. That will be coming under the facts of the case. When once the facts of the case is mentioned, means the person who is going to solute the case is having full exposure of the situation given for the analysis. Most of the times, there may not be any need again to go for the descriptive way of understanding the case again and again, when once the facts of the case have been enlisted. When once the facts of the case is over, then it is natural that the solutor of the case is in a position to identify the problem. The problem may be one problem or more than one problem. It may be in singular or it may be in plural also. Sometimes there may be more than one, 2, 3, 4, 5 problems which are associated with the main problem of the case. Sometimes there may be a single problem, only one problem, depending upon the case as well as the situation in which the case is being prevailing. So the problems are to be identified, maybe one problem or more than one problem. So when once the problems are identified, now the question comes up. how all the problems are supposed to be tackled by the manager. So the various opportunities available for a manager to solve the case for these problems identified will be called as alternatives. How many alternatives of each and every problem is going to be soluted? For that, how many alternatives are available? For example, for there is a problem number 1, there may be 10 alternatives. For the problem number 2, there may be only one alternative. For the problem number 3 in the case, there may be 5 alternatives. For each problem identified under the problem identification step, again, the person who is going for soluting the case should go for the view of the macro level view of the n number of alternatives available for solving each situation of the case. And when once the alternatives have been identified, the next thing is the discretionary capacity on the part of the manager to identify and choose the best alternative every time for each problem identified in the case study. Because there is a cost and benefit analysis is supposed to be performed here again. By choosing a best alternative for application in future, what will be the cost on the part of the organization and what will be the benefit to be on the part of the organization. And once such a thing is being there, automatically a manager has to weigh between the cost and benefit and alternative selection is to be done. Not only material cost, not only other human resource cost, apart from that, what are the benefits? So all these things are supposed to be balanced here, and out of that, the expectation is to come to a possible exact conclusion of the selecting the best alternative. When once the choosing of an alternative, best alternative is made, it is to be applied. So when applying this particular alternative, what are the resources required, what is the technology required, what is the structural arrangements required, what are the processes and procedures required, everything will come under the application of the alternative, the best alternative chosen. So when once this is done, it may be mostly knowing by the manager that what likely the outcomes will be associated by applying this chosen best alternative, and those alternatives outcomes should be defined. Point number 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the way how a case is supposed to be solved. When once the outcomes are enlisted and it is felt that the problem still remains and it is not in a position to go for a clear-cut way of solution of the problem, there is no other go. Again, the manager is supposed to go for reanalyzing the case, starting from the first step onwards. This is the way how a manager is expected to go for this case study approach for problem solving while for going for effective decision making. With this, today we go for the conclusion of this session, but the students are supposed to keep in mind that whatever the approach the manager is supposed to do it should be more professional, it should be more accurate, and because the decisions taken by the manager for the problem solution most of the times are irreversible decisions, costlier decisions, riskier decisions, and timely decisions and timely problem solving is one of the must and ought situation of the managerial environment. Thank you very much.